Hi there, it's B. Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna work on a save system. We're gonna have one single save file. We will load that file and save some quests. So I'm using the same project as I was using before. I have my quest list with a few quests, and I'm using right now the save system. So I have a very simple checkpoint here that every time I interact with it, it will save the game. I'm gonna complete this quest, which is find this key and open this chest, more or less. And then I'm gonna save go to the checkpoint. I have this log to let me know that it's been saved. And now I'm gonna stop this. But I have this debug log here with this simple menu and this continue button, which says, okay, you have a save file, so you can continue. And now I only have one quest, so we're gonna go through all of this. For this basic save system, I created a new map, which is this main menu. With this simple UI and a few more things. I have a new game mode, so I'm using for the game I'm using this main game mode, and for the main menu I'm using this main menu game mode. I like to work this way because this way I don't mix things, because this is going to be like one single scene and I can separate everything and I can start this new menu and all of that, and it won't be mixed or blend with the main game mode. You can do that. You can have as many game mode as you want, and they will load with the map that you are in. It's important to always have the game mode override here, otherwise it will pick the one that is on the project. This game mode is based on this parent class, because I have some functionality that I will show you in a bit. I also has created a game instance. A game instance is like a global element that is unique for all the project, and it's a perfect place to do some operations with the save system. This how to game instance, which is a C++ class. So new C++ class, and then it's right at the bottom. No, it's not. Well, you can always show all classes and type it. So game instance, yeah. So this is the one I selected, and then I set this how to game instance, and I did the same with the that game mode, main menu game mode. You just need to go and find the game mode, which is this one, okay, and then set a new name and wait until it compiles. Nothing there. About the game instance, if you select a project, it will come with one. If you get your own, you have to set that up in the project settings, then maps and modes, and it's right there. So this means the project will take this over instead of the one that it comes. Let's take a look at how I create this simple main menu. If I just play it, it will show up this with this debug. It says you have one saved game, which is true. Continue, credits, and exit game. So basically, if I go to the game mode, I have this custom blueprint event, and that's for a reason. That's because I'm gonna check if there is any save games, and it will launch this event when that happens. Then I'm gonna create the main menu widget, add it to the viewport, and I have this internal function on that widget to initialize the widget. One thing about this menu I'm using a plugin for this. There is a fantastic plugin for menus. The name is UINavigation. This plugin is completely free. I don't usually like to use plugins because when you start relying on plugins, you start adding as for everything, and then your project will get like very messy, and I tend to do things myself because I can control them, and if I need to fix a bug or I want to change something on the plugin, I can do it myself instead of relying on that plugin. But in this case, this is a absolutely fantastic plugin. It's free, and the cool thing about this is a great solution to have menus when you want to use a gamepad, not only keyboard and mouse. Unreal has a built-in system, but I was never I tried once and it didn't work for me. And then I was looking for something and I found this one, and it's fantastic. It has some videos, Discord server, and the creator is always there on the Discord server to answer all your questions. It's free, but the creator has this UE simple navigation, which I highly recommend to also get because it comes with a basic menu, anything you might need. So it comes with absolutely everything. So I'm gonna show you the basic of this plugin, but the creator has fantastic tutorials, so I highly recommend. If you want to get it, well, you want to get the project files of this project, the project that we are working on, it's gonna ask you to enable this plugin. So I highly recommend to get it, install it on Unreal, and then enable it. To activate this plugin after you install it, you have to go to Edit, Plugins, and look for that one, UINavigation, and enable it. When you do this, it will ask you, Unreal will ask you to restart the editor. Just do it and everything will work. Okay, let's get back to this. So this event will create the widget, and I'm going to show you quickly how to work with this widget. It's basically the same as any UI, any widget. It has a few differences, which is okay. So I have some basic buttons, and this plugin uses this UINav button. You can use the other ones, but if you want to use the navigation, what I mean is use the gamepad or the controller or anything like that with this plugin, you have to use UINav buttons. And then to create the navigation, the simple navigation, you have to use this event ready for setup. Use the append navigation grid one UI and tell it like that you have 3 buttons. So with this, the menu will work with the gamepad and with click and with the mouse, with keyboard, everything. So it's fantastic. I have this panel which I use when I click on continue or new game. That's why I have this set visibility on loading panel. Then I have this initialize widget, which I call after I add it to the viewport, and I send this show new game. This is because this will tell me if it's a new game or there is already a save system. So all I'm doing is just I get a reference, then I set this variable, which is a local variable that I created, a boolean. And then depending on that, I'm gonna show the text new game or continue in this continue button text, which is this one. Remember that if you want to use any elements here on the graph, you need to set this variable. I forgot to also say that these 3 buttons are inside this vertical box. That's how this plugin mainly works. When you have buttons like this, use this vertical box or an horizontal box or a grid, and then everything will work. If you want to use just simple buttons, you have to use some extra functionalities. It has a function called set its navigation, so you can select where is the button that is going to go next if you go up or down on the gamepad. All of that is very explained on the documentation and also on the video, so check all of that out. What else do we have here? Okay, so I have some clicks right here, and this is going to work, the plugin is going to work with the onClick normally. So as soon as you press the A key on the gamepad or the enter, it will trigger this onClick, which is great. So when I click on this continue game, it will show me this loading panel. Wait a little bit, and depending if it's new game or not, it will call these two functions. One is the new game and the other one is on LoadGame. This one will create a new save file, and if not, it will load the save file. And I have this parameter, which is the map name to load. And what we'll do is it will load the map I want to load. And I have this map manager because I have different maps and it's my game main map. But you can put here whatever suits you, level 1 for example. What else do I have? I have these credits on click, and in this case this is going to create a new widget of this UINav widget, and is this credit one. So the way you do work between widgets with this plugin is using this go to widget. One thing I forgot to mention is these widgets, all of them extends from UINav widget, which basically you have to set on the class settings, UINav widget. So first you create a new user interface. Let's say test UINav, for example. You open this, you have the normal UINav, then you go to the graph, class settings, and you select UINav. Widget. And then you can start adding elements. The UINav button, for example, or whatever you need. Okay, so back to here, this credit is just a simple one. With this, subscribe to, well, it's just a message. Subscribe to my channel for more videos, and please check my game Kitori Academy on Steam, because you can wishlist my game and it will mean a lot. Okay, so this is also one of those UINav widgets. That's why I'm using this go to widget. And another thing I wanted to show you is this widget, this plugin has this event on return, which will go back to the previous one when you click on escape or when you click on the special button on the gamepad on the Xbox controller, and it will go back to the return to parent. So it has a few different functions that you need to use in order for this to work. Okay, finally, click exit is just, I'm using this command, which is a built-in element in Unreal. Just click quit game, and yeah, it will do that. Okay, before we check the code, I'm gonna press play and I'm gonna show you how this works. So basically I'm using right now the gamepad, and as you can see I can navigate, then I'm gonna press the A key on the gamepad, and yeah, it will go to this new menu. I think if I press B, yeah, it will return. Then I can exit the game and it will exit. Okay, let's check this Event OnShowMainMenu. So if we go to the main menu game mode, I have a reference to the game instance, which is that one. In this game instance, I'm going to have some functions to control that save file. So I have that. Then I have this OnShowMainMenu, which is a blueprint implementable event, blueprint callable. Then I have those two functions that you show on the widget, which is OnNewGame, and it needs an implementation because I'm gonna do a few operations in C++. This blueprint implementable event means that this is going to be callable on the blueprint and it doesn't have any C++ implementation. You use this one instead. You need to create the implementation with the same parameters. And the same for OnLoadGame, which also both of them receive the map name to load. Now let's go to the CPP. And first thing, I just get a reference to the game instance. I use the UGameplay statics, get game instance, get world. You need to add this, include, important, and obviously this how to game instance load dates to get access to the functions. Then, okay, what I do is I call this isNewGame, which will check if there is an existing game file, save game file or not, and it will go OnShowMainMenu. With that boolean, and the menu will show me exactly what I want. And it will change also the message if it's new game or continue. Now the two functions OnNewGame and LoadGame, what it does is just simply, if it's a new game, it will I will call this create new save game, which will create a new save file, and we have this handy open level function. And we can pass it the map name to load, which is very handy because we can select whatever we want. On LoadGame, we just simply open the level, and I'm not loading the save game here because I'm gonna do it in the main game mode instead. Let's go back to the widget again. Let me show you again this. So as you can see, this is the Event OnShowMainMenu. Call it on begin play. Then I will call this Initialize widget with this show new game. And again, if I go here, we will receive that, and we will change the message on the button, on this continue button, and also on the debug. And I was saying earlier, on the continue we have the new game and OnLoadGame, and that's why I have this reference here, which is setting here when I call this Initialize widget. Let's check now the code for the game instance. First, I have this static const f string with unique save slot. This is going to be the name of the slot or the save file, which is going to be always the same. And in this project, I'm using just one single save file, but you can add as many as you want, and you can have a nice menu with a button that says continue, and then you can select the save one that you want. I decided to go for the simple version, which is just an unique one, and if I create a new one, it will always rewrite over this one. Then we have some nice functions. Is new game to check if this thing exists, create new save system, load game, and save game. These two, I'm gonna use them on the game. These two are only for the main menu, and this one on the game, which I'm gonna call from the character, I believe. I'm not so sure. Okay, the other important thing is this element. This is the main save game, which has to be an EU property because it needs to be collected by the garbage collector of Unreal. And this is where the magic happens. So we have this EU save game, which is the save system or the save class that Unreal has. and you need to include this save game. Then what I have inside here is save game name, which can be handy, the creation date, time, which also I think is handy, and finally this is the important bit, which is the list of quests that you have on your character, the quests that you have been collected, they've completed or not. If you remember, I did a tutorial on basic quest system, so I'm using the same elements. So I'm just using a simple save list, and I have this handy function to create the new slot or save game with the date, and I just remove everything. Every time I create a new save game, it will call this create slot. Let me show you this quickly, which, as I said, this comes from the other tutorial, and it simply has a quest ID and if it's completed or not. And that's all I need, because the data of the quest is inside the game. I just need to have IDs and it's completed. Okay, let's back here and let's take the other functions. Okay, I have here again declared the unique save slot, with this name, where I'm gonna show you very soon where this element is. First, this is new game, which remember I'm calling right here on begin play. And all it does is just simply use the UGamePlay statics, and with this handy function, it will get this unique save slot and it will tell me if the file is fixed or not. Then we have LoadGame, which it will do all of this, which basically it will set this current save game null. Then it will load the game from a slot, selecting this one, and this is the main class, so this is the Unreal class. And if it's not null, I'm just gonna do a cast and everything will be stored in this current save game, which, as I said, this game instance is accessible from any kind of element, actor, game mode, so it's very handy. That's why I decided to use the game instance instead of the player or something like that, because I can access from anywhere. Handy message right there. Yeah. Okay, create a new save game. Very simple. If this is null, which means we never created a new one or is null, we're gonna create a new save game, and we use again this create save game object, and in this case we use the static class. This is how it works, so don't think about it, just copy this line. And if it is not null, which is okay, it was correct, then we cast, so we will have this object. If it's not null, we're gonna create the slot using that handy function. And finally, we just need to call save game to slot, this will only create the element, okay? And then we need to save it on file. That's how we do it. Finally, save game. We have, if this is not null, just call save game to slot, and this will do the same operation. So it will save all the data. Now, with this, we have everything we need to save and load save files. So let me show you now where you can find the file. So I go to my folder. This is the folder where the project is, okay, with all the files. And if we go to save games, there you go. The cool thing about this is you can remove this save element and everything will work. I will show you later when I finish at the end. Okay, let's go back to the game. So now if I press play, yeah, it says you have one save game. Let's continue. And this is going to show me the quest list with all the quests that I have already on the system, on the save file. check how I load the game when we are inside the game, which is, in my case, is this map manager. And as I said earlier, I'm using this main game mode, which is separate from the main menu. For the rest of the elements, which is load an existing game and use this checkpoint, I'm using the character itself. You could also place that logic on the main game mode, or if it's a complex system, I will recommend to you to create maybe an actor component with that simple logic extract. But this is a basic example, and I have a few functions, so this is okay. So let's go to the character, which all the logic is in C++, and I'm going to the begin play. As soon as I'm in this begin play, I'm already on the game, so I know this is a good place to do it. And you will see. So basically, this quest list, remember, is the same list that I have in the save game, and it comes from my previous tutorial. What I do is I get a reference to the game instance, and again I use this. This is the name of the class. Then I cast, and I cast what I get from here, which is the game instance. Next, what I do is, okay, if this is not null, and if I can, and if the load game is correct, which basically loads the existing file, is in this Unix save slot, it does is return true because it loaded correctly. I'm just gonna double check if this is not null, just because I like to check for nulls. And basically what I do, I populate this quest list with this quest status, which is not a great name because this will be the same name, but well, whatever. This will have the same elements, all the quests that I collected and completed or not. And I call this handy update and show quest list, which also comes on the previous tutorial, and is basically to show a list of quests with a message. And now I'm going to show you the last bit of code, which is this trigger checkpoint, which is declared right here. Trigger checkpoint, and again is a blueprint callable, blueprint needed event, because I'm going to call this from a blueprint. That's nice checkpoint, which is very, very simple, and I'm gonna do some operation in C++. And let's check. So basically, again, I get a game instance, and then if the game instance is not null and the current save is not null, which means we loaded at the beginning and everything was fine, I basically empty this list again and just populate with the character quest list. I'm doing this because this means, okay, you will have every time the correct number of quests, and I'm just gonna not mess around with this. I'm using this local one first. So this is just the last step, so this is fine. Then I call save game, and if it's correct, it will tell me this nice message, and if not, it will fail. And finally, the checkpoint. The checkpoint is a basic interactive. It's a class checkpoint that I created in C++, but it's a basic interactive and it also implements an interactive interface, which is also explained in another tutorial. It's an interface to interact with any kind of interactive in the map, any actor that are interactable. I have this handy event on interact, which is basically it's an event that happens every time I click, I press the E key or the gamepad. What it does is call the parent, which it calls the parent on interact, which is the C++ function implementation of this, and it will just simply do a nice sound. The checkpoint is a basic interactive which contains a basic trigger and implements this interactable interface. It will call this when the player is close and press the A key on the gamepad, and it will call this on interactive implementation. And all I'm doing is, if this player character exists, which is a reference that I keep here every time I call inside the trigger, it will call this trigger checkpoint, which is this trigger checkpoint, which again is this one. And that's it. That's all we need for this basic, simple save system. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove the save file from here, so you will see how it's gonna create a new one. And I'm gonna run the game one more time. Let's go to the main menu, which is the main, and you will see there is no new game, and now I don't have any quest. If we go to the folder, you will see that a new one has been created and it's completely empty. So now let's collect some quests. Okay, you want food, and if I go to the checkpoint, it wants a key. So now I have these two keys, these two quests. So if I go here and I interact, we can hear the sound. We're gonna see the message, and if I stop now, it's gonna tell me, oh, you have a new save game. Continue, and I have this quest list. Now we can solve one of the quests. Okay, now if I play again, I will have continue, and I have just one quest. And that's it. As you can see, every time I'm on the game, I'm using the quest list on the player, not on the save system. And only when I using this checkpoint, I will replace the quest list. That's it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe, it helps. Please also check my game, Kitori Academy, which I'm excited to share with you, and I know some of you will like it. I'll put all the links on the description box, along with the link for the project files, written tutorial, and also all the links for this UINavigation plugin, which is fantastic. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on the next video. Bye!